Hi, I'm Mark Toole with AD20service.com. Today's customer service video question of the day comes from Quora. It's a good one. The question is, do you think it's right for a business to ban customers who are rude to and berate their employees? Well, this is actually one of those weird questions here where all the answers are in agreement on this. Every single answer to this question so far says yes, it is right to ban customers who are rude to or berate employees. I'm surprised by this, honestly. There's this, you all heard it, the saying out there, the customer is always right. And I was expecting somebody to step in there with that, no, you should never ban anyone from your business. The customer is always right. If they are being rude and berating your employees, it is because you don't understand them. Maybe that's the case. And my answer is going to be prefaced on the idea that you're doing things right in your business, that you're not making a bunch of dumb mistakes, that you're not treating people poorly, that you're not making them call a phone number and listen to loud beeping noises and press 47 for English and wait on hold and listen to NPCs reading off scripts and all this other nonsense. My answer is based on the assumption that you're not doing that you are not stuck in the industrial age, the 20th century, that you're not doing all these things wrong, but at the same time, even if you are doing all these things wrong, my answer still doesn't change. Yes, you should ban customers who are rude to and berate employees. Now, there is a difference here between that and someone who's upset. And if you're running a conventional customer service department especially, guess what, people? Everybody knows this by now. When you make somebody talk to that robotic machine, tell me what you are calling about. I'm sorry, I don't understand. One moment while I look that up for you. It plays a recording of someone typing as if you're an idiot and think that it's a real person. Everybody knows by now the hack to get around that thing and to get a real person. If you don't know it, the hack is to start saying swear words. Then it considers you to be a irate customer, and it puts you right through to a human NPC to then ask you a bunch of dumb questions and treat you poorly. But assuming you're doing business right, even if you're not, you absolutely should ban customers who are rude, who berate employees. Don't go crazy with this. You know it when you see it. But that said, there are absolutely people out there who have no business being a customer of anyone. They have this silly idea. Listen, these people make themselves known. Especially if you're running an online business, selling things online, somebody asks you, "Hi, I don't see your customer service phone number. I don't think that's very good. Why don't you have a customer service phone number?" They're going to be one of these people. Why do they want a phone number? Because they want to call and be rude and berate employees and try to bully their way into getting whatever ridiculous demand they want. You know what customer you want instead? Because you don't want that guy. You know the customer you do want? The majority of your customers, the ones that you've never heard from ever, the ones who just go to your website, buy things, sign up for services, sign up for subscriptions, pay you again and again and again and again, use your products, enjoy your products, benefit from your products, don't have any problems or questions with your products, and you might not even know they exist unless you look them up. They're not the people that are contacting customer service every day. They're certainly not the people demanding a phone number so they can scream and yell at some NPC somewhere. These are the customers you actually do want. Somebody starts acting like a jerk, like we're talking about in this question, ban them. Get rid of them. You can't always repel these people before they buy. Some of them will still slip through. I suggest trying to repel bad customers, whatever that means in your business, as much as you can, but you'll miss some. They'll slip through. But when they make themselves known, and they like to make themselves known, then you get rid of them. You ban them. Listen, don't be afraid to refund somebody's money. Even if you have a no refund product, even if they're outside of a refund period, if it'll get rid of a bad person, a toxic customer, someone who's going to harm your business, harm your customer service representatives, harm yourself when you end up hearing about this stuff, bother you in any way, you don't want them there. You want them gone. It's worth the cost sometimes to refund their money if that's what you need to do to get them out of your hair, out of your ecosystem, out of your world forever. Definitely right to ban people like this. Not just for being nice to your customer service agents, although that's part of it, but for logical business reasons too. It makes your business easier and smoother to run. It means you don't need as many customer service agents. It means you're not going to have high turnover of customer service agents because, other things being equal, they're not spending all day being berated by rude people. They're handling actual issues, not angry nonsense people trying to get free stuff, whatever this is. So, business reasons like that too. The other thing is, of course, that, listen, I answer a lot of questions here on Quora in the customer service category. And every day I see questions, I don't answer them, but it's something like, actually here, they're related questions right on the side. Have you ever been rude to a customer who has deserved it? Have you ever gotten revenge on a rude customer? Have you ever tampered with a meal and served it to a rude customer? I don't know what that is. Is it rude? How do you deal with rude customers? Have you ever snapped at a rude customer and gotten away with it? I got one the other day. I didn't answer, but somebody asked, should customer service agents be allowed to punch one rude customer a day? People are asking these questions, people who work in customer service. Do you think these people want to work in customer service anymore, if that's their impression of it? Do you think they're going to do a good job if they're forced to work in customer service? No, they're going to do the bare minimum to get by until they can leave, and then they'll go home and write things on Quora about how they fantasize about punching your customers in the face. Do you want your business represented by people who want to punch your customers in the face? That's why I'm going to go beyond the scope of this question here. There's people there, everybody says, yes, ban these people. But they're probably, what that looks like in most of these corporations, is going to be the customer service agent thinks somebody's rude. The customer service agent reports this to his manager, and the manager talks to his manager, and a bunch of middle managers and micromanagers sit in a room with a PowerPoint slide wearing khaki pants, looking at their watches so they can go out and have another vape break or whatever they do. And eventually they vote or something on whether or not this person should be banned, or if that's egregious or whatever, and they use all these silly terms. They probably have a book this thick of decision criteria and all this other nonsense. And I've tested, and it works well, especially with my system, which generally I use a lot of people working in the Philippines, independent remote workers in the Philippines doing email and chat support. You know what? I leave that decision up to them in many cases. Yes, if they're not sure, they're welcome to ask me, but do you want to ban if customers being rude, berating, whatever? The person that they're being rude to is the one who can make that decision. Whether it comes down to outright, we're closing your account, banning you for life, or just simply, we're not going to send you a sales link and try to sell you this thing. We'll answer your question concisely and close the ticket and never contact you again, rather than saying, yes, we have this. Oh, you might also like this thing. Sign up here. You don't do that. So it could take a lot of forms, but absolutely you need to be selective about your customer base, just like you're selective about your employees, about the people you work with, about your products, about vendors you use, contractors, all of that stuff. You need to be selective about your customers as well. Now, you're going to have more customers than any of those other categories in most businesses, which is actually a good thing, because it means that, first of all, most of your customers, and if this isn't the case, you're doing something wrong and it's your fault, but most of your customers will not be these rude, irate, berating customers. They'll be the guy we talked about earlier, the guy you've never heard from, the guy who just has money automatically paid from his credit card every month into your bank account. The guy who likes your product, who uses your product, who benefits from your product, who doesn't talk to you about the product, doesn't ask questions, doesn't have problems, etc. These are the people you want. And there's a lot more of them than there are of these terrible customers. So when the terrible customers make themselves known, I mean, there's different approaches, from putting them on kind of an autopilot, again, where you don't try to sell them anything else, but you don't actively kick them out, to actively canceling them, refunding them if necessary, to all the way up to blocking them, banning them, getting in your systems and physically making sure that their credit card, their email address, their personal details, their IP address will never be accepted again by any of your systems. I've done all of these. It depends on the situation, but it's absolutely something you should do. And it's something that, quite frankly, a lot of businesses are afraid to do because of this antiquated I'm going to call it a notion, but really it's just a catchphrase that somehow got ingrained in people's mind. It's like the flat earth people. To go off on a little bit of a tangent, it was a joke, but people were so dumb they started believing it, and now there's scientists talking about this stuff. Customer is always right is the same way. It was a slogan that was created to manage low-level employees who, in the face of rude, berating customers, were tempted to be rude back, to punch them in the face, to do all this stuff. And instead of correcting the root cause, instead of getting rid of those customers, which, yes, is also a lot more difficult in, say, a physical store in a mall in the 1950s than it would be with a website right now, but instead of getting rid of those customers, you can't, in a world where you couldn't get rid of them or where you think you need their money, you have this expression, the customer is always right, basically just to get your low-level employees to shut up, swallow their pride, do what this guy wants, because you want the money and you don't want to have to deal with it. It's never been true, and it's, in my opinion, never really been the smartest way of doing business. It certainly isn't now. It certainly isn't in the age of the internet, information age, information products, all of these things, where literally a guy at his kitchen table with a laptop can be running a business, selling products, making money, and, if necessary, running his own customer service. And he does not want to deal with these people or any of this other nonsense. So, yes, ban them, block them, get rid of them, repel them, get them out of your business, and spend your time focusing on the people who matter, the people who are going to add value to your bottom line, to your business, and who are, quite frankly, who are going to appreciate the hard work that you've put in creating the products, selling them, the people who will actually benefit from them. These people, even if you let them stick around, even if you give them what they want, they're never going to use the product, they're never going to benefit from the product because they revealed that's just the kind of person that they are. So I'm going to wrap this video up here. As always, thought this was interesting, useful, valuable, all of those, none of those. Need some water here. Hit up, vote, thumbs up, like, subscribe, follow, all of that stuff. I do one of these videos every weekday on a customer service question. Coming from Quora, usually, I post these questions on Quora and on YouTube, so depending where you're watching, you can ask me a question on Quora if you have one. You can ask me in the comments on YouTube. I may use it for a future video. I also write regularly on business and customer service topics, both in response to questions on Quora and on the website, which again is 80/20 Service, like the 80/20 principle, 80/20service.com. You can find all that there. You can get on the email list. There is a daily email about this stuff as well, which you should subscribe for. And I think that's it. I'll be back tomorrow with another video.